risky behavior.
Yo, what's up? How y'all doing? How you doing? If you're seeing me 2 times today, it's because I had some technical difficulties, but it's all right. I am back. First off, let me introduce myself. I am Risky Behavior. Welcome to Risky Behavior, the podcast where we explore the fascinating and often perplexing world of human actions. Now, why do we engage in risky behavior? Well, from the complexities of love and relationships to the nuances of religion, politics, and yes, even crime, we will delve into the choices we make and what drives us. Now, I don't label people as good or bad. Instead, I focus on the behaviors that can lead us down a risky path. Join me as we uncover the motivations behind our actions and examine the intriguing aspects of human nature. Let's get it started. So as I allow people to come into the building, I'm gonna look up a news article today. I want to talk about whew, very disturbing story of a father who was sentenced to life without parole for killing his 2-year-old. And basically he did all of this out of jealousy. um it's crazy. His name is Deontray Flanagan. Let's see. Here we go. Let me bring him up on the screen for everyone so y'all can get a look at what he looks like. I got a couple of different news stories, and then I got like a documentary from the Crime Network. But I just want to read a little bit about him, just so you know. Pause. All right. So this person that you see on your screen is Deontre Flanagan. That's spelled Deontray Flanagan. Deontre Flanagan, in case you want to look it up, is out of Harris County, Texas. He was sentenced to life without parole on and at the time of this article was January 13, 2025. So it says that on Friday, about 2 years after the series of events unfolded, he was sentenced on Friday. Now it says here on March 20th, 2023, Flanagan allegedly picked up his daughter, Zevaya, spelled Zevaya, from daycare before showing up at a nearby Walmart to confront the girl's mother, Kirsten Watson, while she was at work. Deputies said Flanagan hit Watson multiple times in the face and left with her phone, driving off and leading police on a chase, which turned into a standoff in Northwest Harris County. Prosecutor says Watson's mother, the child's grandmother, also worked at that Walmart, and her cell phone was used to FaceTime the suspect during the chase. Now, this here is a conversation that was had while he was on FaceTime with them, saying she was on his lap and she was gasping for air, and he had his arm around her neck, squeezing tighter, Watson recalled. He said, "This is what you made me do. All you care about is that man." I was telling him, "No, stop, please. This is your daughter. She loves you." And he was still doing it. So, like I said before, I don't know what would possess somebody. It's just a sad story. What would possess somebody to kill their own daughter simply because of jealousy is insane to me. I'm gonna go ahead and play this, but I'm also gonna play some news clips and stuff. And the mom actually had an interview on the news. I want to play what she said as well. Let me go ahead and jump into this just to get it started.
A man strangles his 2-year-old daughter while on FaceTime with the little girl's mother. I look at the horrific case out of Texas and the jury's verdict. Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. I have to warn you, this case is so incredibly disturbing.
Also, if anybody want to look up their own little stories, you can come down here, go to the Law and Crime Network. Just type it in on YouTube. They got a bunch of like stories if you're into true crime, as I am. And that's Deontre. That's the dude right there on the screen.
A Houston jury has convicted 26-year-old Deontre Flanagan of capital murder for the death of his young daughter. The child's grandfather told the courtroom how he and his daughter, Kirsten Watson, hopelessly watched Flanagan strangle and beat little 2-year-old Zavia while watching on FaceTime. They both tried reasoning with Flanagan over the phone during the police pursuit, but this should have been prevented in the first place. Kirsten warned authorities several times that Flanagan was dangerous and even shared text messages of threats to harm her and her daughter. According to the Harris County Sheriff's Office, deputies were dispatched to the mother's home on 2 occasions, March 15th for a terroristic threat and March 19th for telephone harassment. The following day, on March 20th, is when this fatal incident occurred. Details about the crime were shared by Sheriff Ed Gonzalez during a press conference shortly after the 45-minute pursuit.
What we know is that approximately 10:15 a.m., an adult male went to a private daycare facility, removed his 2-year-old daughter. It's our understanding that he's the biological father. We haven't confirmed that. That's the initial information we received. From there, he proceeded to go to a retail store pretty close by, where he confronted the mother of the child and began making threats, asking for her phone, her passcode, with child in hand, and basically threatening to hurt the child if she did not turn those items over. She complied. She made an attempt to try to rescue her daughter from his stronghold, but she wasn't able to do so. At that point, we're told that the adult male struck her possibly a couple times to the face, and continued to flee the location from that retail store, again, still with child in tow, and fleeing the location with her phone and his phone as well.
Now, this all unfolded.
Now, as you come into the building, my apologies, my mic was muted. As you come into the building, if you could, please just hit the like button. It'll bring more people into the room. I never asked for no money, donations, super chats, or anything like that. Just if you could thumbs up the video, double tap it, I believe, when it's in portrait mode, and that just so more people can see the video. That's all. Also, I wanted to point out that this mom did have multiple incidents with this guy. And so when we talk about domestic violence and just people in general, we say, why don't people report stuff? And this could be a classic case of people do report things, but sometimes we don't have laws in place to actually stop people until something horrific happens. And so some people just bother not to call the law at all, because this guy has a history of kind of just doing what he wants to do.
In March of 2023. We cover a lot of really awful things here, and I feel like so many of these cases are unbelievable, and this one just absolutely boggles my mind. We know that Flanagan was upset with his girlfriend because he thought that she was talking to another man after she tried to end things with him. Deputies tried to find him, and they wanted to save the little girl, and they had...
Yeah. Look at that monster. Look at his face. Shout out to GBNG LV. What's that? Gangland Duda. I think maybe that's what that says. I mean, apologies if I got that wrong. You said, may God accept that baby with open arms and cover that family. Yes, definitely. I agree with that. Definitely. It's no excuse to do something like this, man. Just over jealousy that you would end a life and then throw your life away too, over jealousy. That's it. And he didn't even have 100% proof of that.
had good reason to be concerned because Flanagan was going to take his anger out on his precious little girl while fleeing from law enforcement.
They were able to immediately, or pretty close to immediately start tracking where the phone might be. The suspect in the red Camaro was located near the intersection of Greens Road and North Freeway, approximately in the Greens Point area. Other agencies began hearing the radio traffic, and thanks to the quick action, again, of other partners, the Houston Police Department, Texas Department of Public Safety, all ascended into the area to try to assist. A pursuit occurred at that point from that location. It's several miles from here, several minutes from this location. So pursuit did occur. It's my understanding it took place both along the North Freeway and then here along Stumer Airline as well, as units were, again, trying to devise a strategy to detain the suspect that was in the vehicle with the child. At some point, we believe the mom was able to possibly FaceTime on and off with the suspect, just trying to get him to stop and just having some brief conversations, trying to resolve the situation. The male wasn't having it.
Deontre Flanagan was convicted of a horrific crime. I put his name into truthfinder.com just to see what I would find. Truthfinder is one of the largest public records search services out there. The search results for Deontre Flanagan showed the charges he faced, including capital murder related to his daughter's death and the police chase. He, of course, has been convicted of those charges. Truthfinder is really great because it will show you where a person has lived, phone numbers, possible relatives, and social media accounts. And one thing I really love about it, it will show you the names of sex offenders who live in your neighborhood. I've got a great deal for you. You should give it a try right now. You can get 50% off of confidential background reports. Just log on to www.truthfinder.com/LCCrimeFix. Log on and start accessing information about almost anyone. Flanagan continued to flee with little Zavea in the car. Eventually, he stopped, and there was a standoff between Deontre Flanagan and law enforcement.
We later learned the child was still in the vehicle as well. One of our negotiators was able to establish verbal communication just briefly from near the vehicle, trying to ascertain the condition, especially of the child. And at that point, during the course of that investigation, they determined that the child was possibly in pretty bad shape. And so that's the information that was developed so quickly, working in tandem between HPD SWAT, our units that were here on site with our negotiators as well. They were able to launch a proactive operation using a distraction device with HPD, and then we were able to put an assault team as well to go and extract both the child and the adult male.
Eventually, law enforcement was able to get Flanagan and Zavea out of the vehicle, and Zavea was in incredibly bad shape, as you heard the sheriff say. She died at the hospital. Police say Zavea was tossed around the car since she was not in a car seat or buckled in. However, that wasn't what caused her fatal injuries. She was hit with a blunt object and choked to death, and her mother witnessed part of this. But initially, the sheriff said that Flanagan told them a different story.
The initial information that we received again from the suspect was apparently that the child had, I'm paraphrasing here, had jumped around the car, during everything that had transpired, possibly struck her head and had bounced around. So I'm assuming probably didn't have a seatbelt or anything, and basically said she wasn't being responsive.
Flanagan was charged with 2 counts of assault, criminal mischief, and 2 counts of evading arrest.
So basically, he tried to blame the 2-year-old, is what they're saying. He said, no, it had nothing to do with him taking this child on a wild police chase. It was just that this child, didn't know how to act during a police chase. You hear this guy? This guy a monster. No, she was jumping around. It had nothing to do with, mind you, people saw him on FaceTime choking the father, choking the baby. The young lady, the child's mom, her father says that at one point he took the FaceTime, the camera, and pointed it at her lifeless body at the time. What the grandfather, what he would describe as her lifeless body, he said that he just felt like like devastated because there was nothing he could do about it. He just took the camera, bold as hell, just did what he did, took the camera and said, hey, look what y'all caused me to do. Right? All of this, and the mother cooperated with him. The mother gave her the phone, gave him the passcode and everything. He said, just take the phone. Here's the passcode. Just give me my baby. That wasn't good enough for him. He took the child. It's crazy. Out of jealousy, he used his child as ransom to get a cell phone and a passcode to that cell phone. All of this just because he felt like his child's mom was messing around with another guy. It's ridiculous.
Because he committed the offense using a deadly weapon, prosecutors were able to enhance his charges to capital murder. According to court documents, another aggravating factor that led to the enhancement was the fact that the defendant posed a serious risk to public safety by leading police on a 30-mile pursuit. Police say Flanagan admitted to only being worried about himself and not thinking about his daughter. Zavea passed away about 5 months prior to her 3rd birthday, but her family still celebrated her on that special day.
We love you, Zaya.
Zavea's mother testified at the trial that she begged Deontre Flanigan not to hurt their daughter, telling him that the little girl loved him. She had told a local TV station that Zavea's face was covered in blood. She said Deontre told her, "You only love that man. You did this to her." Deontre Flanigan thought that she was cheating on him with another man. Flanigan will spend the rest of his life in prison without the possibility of parole. So to unpack this incredibly disturbing case, I want to bring in Bridget Williams. She is a trial attorney in Texas. Bridget, I just don't know what you do as an attorney when you get a case like this that comes across your desk. You've got a crime that was committed over FaceTime. You've got witnesses, mom who witnessed this. They see it, see what happened. I mean, how do you defend a case?
I also wanted to add that according to an article on it's abc13.com, you just type in Deontray Flanagan, Texas, father murders 2-year-old or something like that, right? And it should pop up. But I want to point out that the mom, Watson, said she feels failed by police leading up to her daughter's death. She said she called the police several times just days before the murder. Concerned this might happen, Watson added that she and Flanagan had recently broken up. According to the Harris County Sheriff's Office, they responded to at least 2 calls for service at the mother's home. On March 15, 2023, they responded to a terroristic threat. And on March 19, 2023, they responded to telephone harassment. And here's what the mom of the 2-year-old who passed away says. She says, "I told them over and over and over that something was going to be wrong." Watson said they could have at least tried to find him, and even with his past, no. I said, "Are y'all going to wait until something happens to her?" And so that's just from the mother. And I got a video that I'm going to play from the mom. She even said one time she said one time oh, shout out, I got my boy Prince of Petty in here. Hold on, bro. Let me put the link in the chat. Yeah. Oh, also shout out Gangland Duda. You say you double tap the screen to show support, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate that. That's absolutely correct. If you could double tap the screen, like the video, brings more people into the room. I don't ask for no money, donate, nothing like that at all. I just do this because I actually like to look at true crime, and this. I do a lot of other videos on relationships too. I like to talk about stuff like that. So I just do this. It's like a, I guess what people would call a hobby. But to add on to that part of the article I was reading, the mom also said that there was a time when he actually stormed into her house while she was giving the 2-year-old a bath, and he just took the daughter out the bathtub and just left with her. And so she's kind of been, the mother of this 2-year-old, she's been terrorized by this guy, kind of like afraid. She's reporting him, trying to get the police to do something, but she's kind of got her hands tied behind her back because she's so afraid of him. It's kind of like this crazy situation where she's hoping he doesn't take it too far.
Case like this.
This is certainly a tricky one for any defense counsel. Honestly, our job is to give the client as much legal advice as possible. sometimes in situations like this, it may be our advice for them to take some type of agreement with the state, or even, to move forward with the trial. Whenever we have a case that has been done on video and you have multiple witnesses, then the defense counsel's role may be to advise the client to take some type of agreement. However, it's ultimately the client's decision on if they want to accept that agreement or move forward with a trial setting. In this situation, the client decided that he wanted to move forward with a trial. Now, I don't know what that advice from defense counsel was, but he decided ultimately that he wanted to move forward with a trial. And so during that trial, it's going to be difficult, or it was difficult for that defense attorney, more than likely, to bring any defenses. There aren't any defenses. This was done, like you just stated, on camera, intentionally done on camera, with an audience and with multiple witnesses. So there's the defenses are going to be limited, if nothing close to none.
Earlier I read this quote. Deontray apparently said to Zavea's mother, "You only love that man. You did this to her." So he was trying to cast blame on Zavea's mother, Kirsten, saying basically, this is all your fault. He was using their daughter, it seems to me, to hurt her. He wanted to cause her a lifetime of pain and anguish, to hurt her. I mean, I've seen this in other cases where the man is trying to punish the woman by using the children and killing the children. I mean, have you ever seen a case like that?
Hey, yo, Prince, I left the link in on the back channel and Clubhouse for you.
I have seen cases like that, and it's heartbreaking. It's dramatic. It's terrifying. That the father or mother, sometimes it's the other way around too, that either parent would sacrifice, because that's what happened here. You sacrifice this child's life in order to get back. I'm using quotes around that. Get back at the other parent, and it shows anger issues. It shows some type of displacement mentally. It shows so many control matters, egotistical personality. I mean, it just shows so many problems there. But
straight up narcissist is what he was. He's a psychopath.
But with that being said, it shows that he has some type of imbalance for himself personally.
I got another word. He was a demon. Maybe that word.
But not only that, he intentionally did this to get back at her. And that's the intentionality that is needed for that first degree murder charge that he was actually convicted of.
Yeah, the capital murder. I mean, he wasn't going to ever face anything but that charge in Texas. The jurors, they watched a video apparently of Zavea's mother. She was basically watching her daughter being murdered. And she's begging him to not do this, saying, she loves you. Don't do this. I mean, how do you can't, I don't even know how you cross-examine a witness like that. I don't know if the defense attorney cross-examined her. I mean, I don't know what you do. How do you even handle that?
Yeah, that's going to be difficult for any defense counsel to cross-examine a mother who just lost their daughter, who witnessed it on video while it was happening. So, I mean, there's the point of cross-examination.
Yeah. What's up?
Man, what's up? I'm just coming in. Bro, did I hear that right?
What part? Yeah, it's crazy. Basically, dude, Deontray Wilder, and that's Dion and Trey, two names put together to make, when they combine, they become Deontray.
Of course.
Flanagan. I don't know. His first and last name is a red flag to me. But basically, recently he had broken up with his the mother of his child. Well, more like she probably dumped his behind. And he had suspicions that she was moving on with another guy.
Sounds about right.
yeah, he says, well, hey, I'm going to go pick the child up from daycare. He drives over to where she works at a Walmart, confronts her and says, look, you're going to give up that cell phone. You're going to give me the cell phone. You're going to give me the passcode, or the daughter gets it. That's what he does.
Wait, what
Crazy.
kind of? Wait, what type of stick up is that?
This his own daughter. This his own child. His own baby girl. Give me the cell phone. Give me the passcode. Baby girl gets it. The mom cooperates. Here, cell phone, passcode. Right? She wants her child back. He still don't give her the child. Oh my gosh. He drives off. Just so happens she works in a Walmart. Her mom works there as well. She goes to her mom, gets her mom phone. They FaceTime him. They're on FaceTime with him, begging and pleading with him to return the child. Don't do anything crazy. He's hysterical. You made me do this. Insane. He strangles the daughter in front of him. Like, they said they could see like when he hit her with a blunt object. He strangled the little girl in front of them. The grandfather even I'm trying to find an article. I know in the article he said it in an article that was like typed up, but I got a video of when they interviewed the mom. But I know at one point the grandfather says that he even panned the camera over to the girl's body as what he describes as her lifeless body. And just bold, like, I'm doing this to get back at y'all. I just pure hate. Just he did it out of pure hate and just jealousy. I would venture to believe that he probably only had a baby with this young lady to trap her and to keep her in some way. I'm feeling like he's a narcissist, possessive, controlling. He just wanted to keep her. Henceforth, when he gets angry, he uses the daughter as a weapon because that's how he keeps her close to him, is that child. I don't think he really cares about the child. I think the child is just in his brain, maybe a tool, and to control what he perceives to be his possession, which would be the mom and stuff. So,
Man, I feel like you reading me a Twilight Zone script or something right now.
can't make it up,
And
man.
what's messed up about this, and this is off the top of my head. I just came in. I missed the notification. I was taking a nap in my truck. Don't judge me. And no judgment. Gotcha. And I came in, bruh. I can give you off the top of my head right now 2 other instances where something like this has happened. A young lady by the name of Janae Pettiscue here in New Orleans. She FaceTimed her kid's father while she stabbed him to death. The youngest survived. The little girl died, and there was another young man. I think this was in New York, where he was trying to be with this young lady. Turns out the young lady didn't want to be with him, but she was busting it open, having kids willy nilly or what have you, and he was still trying to stick it out. And she came back. She came back, gave that man herpes or something like that, chlamydia. I don't know what it was, but it was something. It was something you can't get rid of. And he ended up killing the kids and himself. And somebody in the neighborhood so happened to have been walking by and saw the blood dripping from the car and was able to go check and found out what happened.
That is insane. Oh my God. Children
violence and FaceTime is not society's friend at this point.
I know it's not. That's crazy. I got some more news clips, and I got some more news clips. I'm gonna play the rest of this video, but the beginning part that tells the story isn't really that long, so I'm gonna go back and replay that anyway. At the end. Also, if you're coming into the building, please smash the like button. Most appreciated. Let's see. People say, I don't know how you hurt a baby. Look at this face. All they do is smile at you and give you love. Why would you ever hurt the
Oh
baby?
man,
Hey,
she's so chunky, man. Look at her, bro. Bro, that is sad, bro.
you got to be evil. Like they were trying to come up with all these names. Like maybe he's suffers from this. Maybe he a demon. You ever think of that? Maybe he's just a demon.
No. Bro, I'm gonna tell you the same thing I be saying on Clubhouse. Bro, Shamela, you know how I roll, bro. There is a special level of evil. Like you have to be demented to do anything to a child. Because children are not even, especially that young, bro, they're not even cognitive of what's going on. You could punch that little baby square in the face, and within seconds, they're going to be crying and want to be held by you after you punch them in the guy. Like, they just want love, bro.
Yeah, they are. They are
That is
forgiving
a
and
special
loving.
level of evil.
Yeah, they gotta be. Yeah, because kids are naturally forgiving. Yeah, it isn't. Your brain is a disconnect there. Something is wrong with you, terribly, terribly, terribly wrong with you to do something with a child. Whew,
Bro,
there we go.
bro, I feel the same way about uh I don't know if YouTube like this phrase, but child molesters, pedophiles. I feel the same way. I feel the same way as I do about them, as the people who murder the church. It's a special level of evil that can only be obtained by somebody who has multiple screws loose.
Oh yeah, no, they all in the same box. It's all evil. It's all just anything. They're all in the same evil box.
Man, when y'all come in, hit that like button, bro. Share this. We need to get this little girl story out there, bro. Because this dude, I'm assuming he's arrested, correct?
Yeah, he been sentenced to life without parole.
Should have got a death penalty. Hell, that nope. So now he about to sit on taxpayers' money, getting 3 hot in the cot. Wow. Oh hell no.
I know. Here we go.
Is to point out any issues that the person may have stated during their direct that they want to bring up questions about. However, in this type of situation, the mother is just telling her story of what she witnessed the father doing on FaceTime. So in real time. So that would be difficult for any defense counsel. And also, as that defense attorney, you don't want to come off as too harsh on that mother to the jurors. So you're already in a situation where this jury is watching this video. You don't want the defense counsel to come off as harsh to the mother either. So it's a difficult situation for any defense counsel to be in.
Yeah, and this little girl, I mean, she was defenseless. She wasn't even 3 years old. I can't even imagine how fearful she was. You know, she's taken out of daycare by her father, and then taken on this police chase. She's harmed. Law enforcement. What gets me about this case too is that, Zavea's mother had called law enforcement and said that he was acting up in the days before this happened. It just seems to me it was preventable in some way, shape, or form.
Well, let's go back to your first point about the daughter being just afraid. A child in that state, she's vulnerable. She is, she has to be in the care of her father because he picked her up from school. And for her to get in this vehicle with him, only for him to harm her. I believe the information from Law and Crime stated that he hit her first across the head and then proceeded to strangle her. Yes. On FaceTime, right? So, right. I mean, just the fear of that, even in an adult, right? That would be very fearful. But we talk about with that for a child, that has to be unimaginable.
Yeah, most definitely. There was some reporting regarding this case, Bridget, that he, was brought into the courtroom one day and shoved a news camera or something to that effect. And, somebody was slightly injured. Somebody had to do with the news camera.
I got that video.
The guy obviously has incredible anger issues. I mean, is there what is your reaction to that when he obviously doesn't want to be on TV or
And
in the
he doesn't
news?
look like a psycho.
I mean, anger issues, major rage.
He look like a psycho to me.
I don't think so. I mean, I think he looks like the average black dude, quite honestly. I mean, I mean, if that's his mug shot and not just a random photo, I mean, he got the angry black man face. I mean, he looks like an average dude to me. He doesn't really come off as a psycho. Now, given the circumstances of what happened, yes, I can say, nigga kind of look crazy.
But that might be what it is, though. That might be what it is. I would have to see his picture before hearing this story. I can't.
Right.
That might be what it is.
If you take the story, if you take what he did out of the equation, he looks like a typical guy. Now, we've seen mug shots of dudes that got tattoos in their face and post up on Facebook with guns and money and all that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? This dude here, he looked like an average cat.
Yeah, you're right. I see what you're saying. It might be just I can't see nothing. I didn't I just read the title when I was looking at the article and getting these videos together. I just read it, and then so when I seen them, I'm coming in on that end of it. So I'm like, he looks like, you know.
Yeah, and I think that's probably an unfortunate gift that I have, because I've covered, man, so many of these stories like this, bro. It's like I would see a female's mugshot, a mother's mugshot after she killed her kid, and I can easily say, like, yeah, she looks like a psychopath. Like, yeah, she looks crazy. Then I see another one, and I can eliminate that from the equation. It's like, all right, she looked like an attractive woman. Like, I probably wouldn't think she would do something like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a real unfortunate gift, I guess.
How much longer on it? 2 more minutes, then we can get to the
Does he have mental health issues? I mean, what
I'm going to say all of those things because the thing is that whenever you are in a court of law, it is public record. And so individuals from the news, unless the judge determines that they cannot be. So they have the right to be there. But you forcibly pushing a news camera out of the way and harming someone else, all you've done now is display your anger issues. Hopefully that wasn't done in the presence of the jury, because that would have even shown further his anger issues. So if that was not done in the presence of the jury, hopefully that would be better. But if he had done it in the presence of the jury, that only made his case worse. And now you are picking up a new charge as well for now assault against this news camera person. So it in no capacity would that have ended well for him.
No, absolutely not. And he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. That was the sentence he received. There must have been some, I'm assuming he will appeal. Then maybe there will have been some issues with the trial. I can't see him getting a new trial. Obviously, we weren't there for it. But he's going to prison for the rest of his life, and that should not be a shock to anybody.
Absolutely not. It's not a shock at all. I mean, like we talked about before, cases before where a person, an adult, kills a child in Texas, you qualify for the death penalty. He's not getting the death penalty. You're getting life in prison. And so, of course, more than likely, while he is in prison, like you stated, it wouldn't be a surprise if he filed some type of appeal. I don't know what grounds he would have for that until we actually knew some things about the case or the trial. But I don't foresee there being anything that would be appealable based off of what the information that we have.
Yeah. Well, all we can hope is that Zavea, she's resting in peace, and that her family can remember her and honor her, and somehow, I don't know how, but move forward.
Absolutely.
It's just horrendous. Bridget Williams, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
That's it for this episode.
Also, more from that article that I was reading, it says that when the mom was saying that the mom says that she says, I told him over and over and over again that something, was going to be wrong. That was one of the things that they were bringing up, is that the mom had these incidents. And I'm gonna play I'm gonna play when they interview the mom because she shares a story about how even one time when she was giving the daughter a bath, he just stormed into the house and snatched the daughter up out of the bathtub. But according to the sheriff's office, the responding deputy consulted with Harris County District Attorney's Office, and it was determined there was insufficient evidence to support filing a criminal charge at the time. A welfare check was also conducted in an attempt to locate Flanagan, but all attempts to find him were unsuccessful. And this is from her trying to bring up criminal charges on him because he was threatening her and stuff. The district attorney's office told ABC 13 no determination on charges was made. Instead, it shared a document showing more investigation was needed by the deputy. The DA's office said it didn't hear from the deputy regarding the call they responded to on March 19th. Back in 2023, Eyewitness News asked the sheriff's office about the March 19th call and why prosecutors weren't made aware, and it has yet to hear back. Watson said she had text messages proving Flanagan threatened to harm their daughter and believes officers brushed her concerns off. They didn't believe me, Watson said. They thought I was just making this up, and he was the father.
So we're dealing with another instance of where the system fails a child, but the only difference is this time it's not CPS. It was the actual mother and child who was in danger from the actual male, the father.
Yep. Yep.
Does it say
It's
how old they
crazy
were?
that he did that because like how old he is. I'm trying to see. I don't
How old they were or how long they were together prior?
I did not see that. Hold on. Well, March 2023, Deontray Flanagan, 25, has been charged with capital murder. So he was 25 years old.
A baby, a youngster. He's still wet behind the ears, man.
Yeah, he was 25. There's no telling how long they were together, though. I didn't see anything like that. And I'm reading the articles because when you're in, like portrait mode, I don't think it shows up very well
And how old was the little girl?
on the screen. Let's see. Where are we at? Okay.
Well, we begin with some breaking news. A toddler is dead after her own father took her on a high-speed chase through North Houston.
Just shocking news. So this chase ended at Stubner Airline Drive near Veterans Memorial, and that's where we find Fox 26's Gabby Hart standing by live with the latest. Gabby.
That's right. This is not the news that we were hoping for. We have learned that young girl has now died. And what we know so far is that the father of that child went to pick her up from daycare and then took her to the location that her mother was at and threatened to harm the child if that mother did not hand over her cell phone and unlock it. Police do tell us that mother complied. She did what he asked her to, and then she tried to get her 2-year-old daughter out of his arms. But the suspect then hit that mother in the face multiple times and took off with the girl. Now, deputies eventually located the suspect in a red Camaro at Greens Road and North Freeway. That's in the Greens Point area. Other agencies, including TxDOT, HPD, as well, pursued the suspect in a chase that went from the freeway to Stubner Airline Drive. The suspect's car eventually came to a stop near the church where I'm standing, and that's when there was a short standoff. HPD and Harris County sheriffs negotiated and were able to create a distraction in order to get the father into custody and then render aid to that 2-year-old who, again, we have just learned died from her injuries.
During everything that had transpired, possibly struck her head and had bounced around. So I'm assuming probably didn't have a seatbelt or anything. The child was in very serious, critical condition. So CPR was administered almost the entire time until Life Flight arrived and has since taken the toddler, who we're told is 2 years old, 2-year-old black female.
And Sheriff Ed Gonzalez tweeting out today that that toddler did not survive her injuries. We do know that the suspect is in custody, that child's own father. We are waiting for officials to release his name. We will keep you up to date on this story throughout the evening right here. And of course, you can follow my Facebook and Twitter pages, Gabby Hart News, for any updates we learn in the meantime. For now, I am live in North Houston. Gabby Hart, Fox 26 News.
Hello?
You put
Oh, my bad. That's something else I had in the queue. Has nothing to do with this case. So the mom tried to get him, tried to get her out of his arms. He was punching her in the face.
Man, that's crazy, bro. I mean, I have some comments on the matter, but me not knowing how long they were together, I don't want to victim shame at all whatsoever, and especially in a case like this.
Oh yeah. Well, I would assume at least they've been together a couple of years. It says that they had recently broken up. So the child's 2, they recently broken up. So we can give them 2 years.
Okay, at the very least 2
before that. At the very least 2 years, the 9 months before that. A little dating. They're young. It doesn't take that long to fall in love when you're young, to be honest with you. You can fall in love with somebody, move in with them. A lot of times when you're young, you don't think about it. So 25, count back 3 years. He would have been 22. Yeah, I would say maybe at least I would assume they've been together 3 years. Probably most likely off and on 3 years, because when you're young, it don't take that long to fall in love, have sex, you have a baby, you're off and on in a relationship. So I would say about 3 years for some young folks. I would.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah. I'll do the same. I'll give them about 3 years, man. Man, this is sad, bro. And what's messed up is stories like this, they make it bad for a lot of men, because you hear a lot of this happening with the mothers. It's rare you hear things like this happen with the fathers. This really paints men in a bad picture, for the average woman who would probably be on the internet and hear something like this, then they become a feminist and all that stuff. This is sad. Where it's like every one of these trumps the last.
Yeah, I don't know why he did that. He had some serious anger. That's a lot of anger.
It's 8:15. A judge has now set a $1 million bond for Deontre Flanagan. He's charged with the murder and the death of his 2-year-old daughter, and police say he took his daughter from a...
Nah, Prince, look at that hairline. That's the evil guy right there. Look at that.
Yeah, he got that Stephen A. Smith hairline right there. Yeah, I wouldn't trust him.
Daycare, and then led police on a chase, which turned into a standoff in Northwest Harris County. Flanagan later admitted that the child was not buckled up in the car and bounced around during that chase. She was eventually life-flighted to the hospital, but sadly later passed away. The sheriff's office is running an internal investigation as well to make sure all policies were followed.
Hello?
Why does that keep popping up?
Now, what's surprising to me is that they moved so swiftly, not only with the case itself, but the sentencing too. Because in one of those cases I mentioned to you right off the dome, the chick Janae Pettisque, I've been following that case since it happened 2 years ago. I have this lady's
testimony in the Castle
inmate number.
This one, it took 2 years for this one too.
This chick here, I got this lady's inmate number. I got her. I have her charges that's pending. I even know where she's being housed in prison. They have yet to even begin a trial on this chick. They've swapped out 5 different judges in terms of a case. The first judge got reclused because he dealt with one of her previous trials for like assault or something like that. Another judge reclused himself because he had dealings with her father, and the other
What?
three judges,
That's crazy.
yeah, he knew the family, and the other three judges, I don't remember why they reclused themselves, but they gave her a competency hearing. I want to say a year and a half ago or something like that, and they didn't even come up with no. There's no update. There's no telling if she's been competent to be held in trial, and they're just waiting on a judge to take the case or what. She's just been sitting in central lockup.
Mm. Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna say, but this one, yeah, this one, he was sentenced. It had 2 years had passed since the crime, but he was at least being sentenced within that 2 years. So yeah. Yours, that is much longer than one you talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's kind of surprising. They really scored with him. Like they made sure they didn't drop the ball. They did that swiftly. They
Well, they
wanted
had
him in
to
prison.
because I think they had to too because they were looking into them to make sure that they did everything the right way. I assumed as well that part of the reason that they was trying to see if they did things the right way, because I thought about that police chase. Were they going to try to get onto them? Because if you're chasing someone with a 2-year-old in a car, you maybe, I would assume they were making sure that they didn't just chase them recklessly, right? I know sometimes if they think it's danger to the public or people in the car, they won't really chase you. They'll follow you slowly, but they won't do anything to make the person act erratic or whatever, you know? So I thought that's
Oh,
what they was.
yeah, I know that all too well. You know, especially in Texas, the Supreme Court passed a law to where officers have the right to not pursue you in a chase, and in a lot of cases, those things are really looked at deeply because they try to find cause in the cops doing wrong. Say, for instance, they're chasing somebody on the interstate and they crash and die. They try to blame the cop for pursuing them or whatever the case may be. So I can see what you're saying. Yeah, they try to cross their T's and dot their I's with that.
Yeah. But in this case, I think he was going to do what he was going to do. Eventually, he was going to do something. The mother was right. He was going to do something either way. So I think whether the cops chased him or not, he would have done this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He had his mind made up. But my thing about it is, in terms of him being a weak-minded individual, bro, you have that much animosity, you have that much anger, you have that much rage in your heart, bro. Kill her. Leave the child alone. The child didn't do you anything. The child the child is just merely existing. Kill her. Leave the kid alone. Now, granted, don't kill anybody. I mean, don't get my words twisted. Now, nobody deserves to die. You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't twist my words.
I know what you mean, because it's your child is you, right? That's your seed. That's you. I don't know why that would be the person you attack, but that's why I said before, he most likely he used that child as a way to keep her. If he's an abuser, a narcissist, that child probably doesn't mean anything to him. The child is only a tool that he uses to keep her under control, and he terrorizes her through the child.
And that right there in and of itself is mind-boggling to me, because I've covered so many of these stories. The men, on the other hand, who unsubscribe from Life a Child, I could count on my hands. Whereas the mothers who do it, I've had to create an entire tally board for that. So the fact that he weaponized this child against this woman and went on the tirade that he did, a high pursuit and all that, then the FaceTime, like, bro, that's not really what the average man would do.
Well, yeah, not the father. I've seen it with the boyfriends, but yeah, I've seen a couple stories with the boyfriends doing something evil like that. But with the father, I think I don't know. I would like to get the statistics on it. Usually it is the mom. Usually it's the mom. I know that much. But for the other stories, I want to know, I wonder, is it more? Because I've heard a lot of stories with like the boyfriend, the male friend. You had the friend that the mom had to babysit her kid. The kid was crying too much. So he went under the counter in the kitchen and got like some acid or something and threw it on the child. You know?
Oh my God.
Yeah. That story's from a long time ago. That was years ago that happened. I remember hearing that story and stuff. So you had another story where a mom was dating a guy and he would use her car while she was at work, dropped off at work, and he left with her child. He returned with her child. The mom's riding in the car with him, talking about her day at work. Her child is in the back seat, not moving. She assumed he was sleeping. Whole time, he had murdered that little boy. He was dead in the back seat. He picked her up from work with her dead son in the back seat.
Man, that's crazy, bro.
But he
But as
wasn't the
far as
father. He was just a boyfriend, and you use her car while she's at work.
as far as those statistics, I can tell you right now, and I have the screenshot from when I looked it up in my phone. I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna back channel it to you. Every single category, and the stats are broken down. It's single mother with boyfriend, single fathers with girlfriend, living in a house, whatever the case. It's all broken down. Every single case that involves the mother murdering the child or abusing the child, they all outnumber the stats from a father being in the house. All of them.
Oh yeah. I know. Yeah. I figured that one. Yeah, I figured that one. I wonder though, when the guy kills, are those the mom's boyfriends, or are those the actual father though? That's the part I'm wondering about.
Yeah, now that part isn't I guess you could say expounded upon, but it's all broken down to where one would be able to determine like I guess you could say the mothers on average are usually the more violent.
Oh yeah, definitely. We know that. That's the ones. Remember, we was covering the ones. You showed me the ones with the mom. They actually got off. Remember the one she was on heroin? Was she on heroin? I think she was. And she
Yeah,
killed
she
the
was on some
child.
type of drug. I remember that.
She didn't
Yeah,
get
I
any
remember
time.
that.
Yeah, she didn't get any time.
They should have threw the book at her behind.
She didn't get no time. She didn't get no time. On me.
Of Deontre Flanagan happening now.
Yeah, prosecutors say he killed his 2-year-old daughter during a police chase last year while the child's mother watched in horror over the phone during a FaceTime call.
Victor Jacobo is live at the Harris County Family Law Center. Victor, we understand you were the only TV news reporter inside the courtroom today. Walk us through what happened here.
Yeah, Mia, that's absolutely right.
What kind of intro he had?
Emotional day for this first start.
Yeah, I don't know. That was weird.
Trial that included opening statements. Our cameras are only allowed to get a little bit of video recorded of a break in the proceedings, but I was inside this courtroom for the rest of the day as this trial continued. This is the latest stage in the search for justice for 2-year-old Deontray Flanagan. Today, the start of the trial of Deontre Flanagan, charged in the murder of his 2-year-old daughter, Zavea. The case goes back to March 20th, 2023. That's when prosecutors say Flanagan was upset with
he's
his
still
girlfriend
angry
and
in
mother
that
of Zavea,
video they just showed
Kirsten
him.
Watson, believing she was seeing another man.
Look how they had to raid his car. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About 10 people.
So he was mad that she started dating again.
I guess he assumed she was talking to somebody else. You know,
Wow.
she probably was. She might have been talking to somebody before they broke up or whatever. But she was talking to somebody else, and he wanted to go through her phone.
Oh man, and them youngsters, relationships, and cell phones, bro.
Yep.
Went to Watson's place of work, took her cell phone, and drove off with the child.
That's the
Harris County
helicopter.
Sheriff's
They
deputies
airlift the
tracked the
baby.
mom's phone to find Flanagan, who then led them on a chase. That ended in a standoff and arrest. Savea was taken to a hospital and pronounced dead. The most intense evidence shared with the jury today, video of Watson inside a deputy squad car during the pursuit. Watson is on a FaceTime call with Flanagan and pleads for Flanagan to stop harming Savea. At one point heard saying, "He's killed her, he's killing her." Members of the jury were also shown screenshots of the FaceTime call. Prosecutors say Flanagan allegedly hit Savea with a blunt object and choked her. Now, witnesses who spoke today included Zavea's grandmother, law enforcement officers, and the trauma surgeon who examined Zavea when she arrived at the hospital back in March of 2023. Prosecutors told us that they expect this trial to last about a week. For now, reporting live downtown, Victor Jacobo, KHOU 11 News.
Yeah.
Well, I can very well say this at the very least. Ladies who end up seeing this live stream, ladies, never date a man named Deontray. I mean, you never see the news where, or at least I personally haven't. I haven't seen the news where a black guy named John, black guy named Donald, a black guy named Jimmy kill his kid. I've never seen it. These made up names, you should automatically believe that is a hood N-word. Then he drive a RNV, a real nigga vehicle. he had a Camaro that was candy red. Wow, that in and of itself would be a red flag to me.
Oh,
I gotta stop being racist.
This is what he found
Houston
guilty.
Father is found guilty of murdering his little girl.
The jury deliberating for only a few hours in the case of Deontre Flanagan, who live streamed his 2-year-old daughter's killing. Matt Doherty is live just outside the courtroom with the breaking update for us. Matt.
Dang, they all got their intro.
Like you said, it took the jury less than 2 hours to come back with their guilty of capital murder verdict against Deontre Flanagan.
Less than 2 hours.
It started back in March of 2023. Just before then, Deontre had been in a relationship with Kirsten Watson. The two of them had a child between the two of them, a 2-year-old girl named Zavia. Apparently, Deontre found out that his ex was talking to other men, became jealous, and then went and picked up his 2-year-old daughter from daycare, and then called up his ex and her father both on FaceTime and live streamed the strangulation death of his 2-year-old daughter. I spoke with her grandfather who witnessed the death a little bit earlier today, and he still is very upset and can't forget about what happened. Back to you.
All right.
And that 2 hours was probably because they needed to eat lunch. I'm pretty sure everybody made their mind up before they went back there.
Oh no, absolutely. Absolutely, bro. When you know you going to jail for the rest of your life, when the jury comes back and convict you the same day your trial ends, you know you going to jail and never coming out again. They wanted him.
Yeah, it don't make no sense, man. That's why when I look at these stories, a lot of times you just be in a bad mood, after you hear them. It just doesn't make any sense. People cheat, people move on, people break up, people get into arguments, people get into fights. You call each other names. Nobody, I think, would ever imagine that the person would show up and do something like that. Even with all her reporting him and trying to get the police to get him arrested, I don't even know if she believed he would go all the way and do that. Cause it's just like out there. It's like, really? Cause even like, cause her father, the grandfather, is there. I'm pretty sure if he thought that, he would have been laid that boy out. It ain't. He looks like a healthy grandfather and everything and stuff. I think he might be in this next clip.
I'm Caroline Collins, and
This next clip I'm about to play with the mom talking. He might be in this one.
It's Fox 26 Crimes of the Heart. First, a mother's heartbreak. She tells us the story of watching FaceTime as the father of her child kills the 2-year-old. Deontre Flanagan's bond was previously set at $1 million, but it was raised to $2 million during his following appearance in court. Investigators say that he picked up his daughter from daycare and led police on a chase. First, Fox 26's Gabby Hart talked to that distraught mother. Then Quanell X and Charles Adams talk about the punishment Flanagan should face.
Her face was just covered in blood. He hit her with something really hard. And then he called me on FaceTime, and he showed me that he choked her on FaceTime as I was on there. And I said, Trey, that is your daughter. That is your daughter. Stop. That is your daughter. She loves you. I care about her. You care about her. Like, that is your daughter. And he told me, his exact words was, you only love that man, so you did this to her.
Kirsten Watson tells Fox 26 she's still numb and in shock. Around 10 o'clock Monday morning, her child's father, identified by police as 25-year-old Deontray Flanagan, stormed into her job at Walmart in North Harris County. He had their 2-year-old daughter, Zavea Marie, who had just been dropped off at daycare, in his arms, and he began screaming at Watson.
He just wanted my phone. He's screaming at me, cursing me out, telling me, what's the passcode? Tell me the passcode or she's going to get it. And I'm telling him the passcode, and I'm telling him over and over and over. But at the end of the day, I guess it just wasn't enough.
After he took off with Zavea in hand, police say Flanagan took deputies on a 30-mile chase. The car eventually came to a stop on Stubner Airline Drive near Veterans Memorial, where officers took Flanagan into custody uninjured. But little Zavea required CPR until life flight arrived. She died at the hospital.
She was just such a happy baby, and I just know she's at peace.
Watson says in the week leading up to this incident, she had to contact police on 3 different occasions about Flanagan, but she was told there was nothing they could do.
The first day he took my child, like I was giving her a bath in the tub. He stormed in and he took her out the tub. She wasn't even dressed. And he just took her out the house and drove away in a car. We've been going our separate ways. And I let him be, but he couldn't let me be. He couldn't let me be happy. He couldn't let me move on with my life.
This family now sharing their story, hoping it helps someone else.
And I wonder about how many other Zaveas is around the world right now, around the United States right now, that's having the same problem. That's in the city, that's in the state. We got to help one another.
See, I told you that the grandfather, I think if he really thought he would go that far, he probably would have laid him out. You see what I'm saying? But the daughter probably said, no, Dad, that's his daughter, and stuff. So I don't think she thought he would take it that far. She thought he was crazy. She probably thought he might slap her around, but I don't think she thought he would take it to that level. Like, I don't think as a parent I don't think you could accept that thought in your brain that he would do that to his own daughter.
Charles, there was an awful case here in Houston this week of a young man by the name of Mr. Flanagan, who murdered his own 2-year-old daughter because he suspected the mother was having an affair with another man. And he got angry that the mother wouldn't give the passcode to her phone. So he FaceTimed the mother and choked the 2-year-old baby to death while the mother watched. And the mother cried out, "That's your daughter. She loves you." But that sick, no good, dirty stud choked that baby to death on FaceTime.
I got some choice
I'm
words
sick
that
and
ain't bastard.
tired of giving men like that long.
No, his word went bastard. Let's rewind it. He paused. He about to say something there. Oh, let's go back. I like how that flowed off the tongue.
I say I'm sick and tired of giving men like that long trial FaceTime. Choke that baby to.
Here we go.
And the mother cried out, "That's your daughter. She loves you, but that sick, no good, dirty stud."
See, he about to say something else, and he about to say,
choke that baby to death on FaceTime. I say I'm sick and tired of giving men like that long trials, and we as taxpayers wasting money to put them on trial, and we waste money for deputies to take them back and forth to court. We waste money putting them in the jail and giving them 3 hot meals a day, plus health care and dental care. Baby. To all you baby killers like Mr. Franklin, if we got a video of you murdering babies like that, man, we take you and kill you the same week.
Yeah. Woo! Yeah, that I do wonder why he did not trip and fall on his way down to the jailhouse. A lot of other people have tripped and fell. So I don't know.
Yeah, my heart is broken for her mother, Kirsten Watson. This is not an incredibly unusual result of horrifying domestic violence where a parent will harm or kill a child to seek to exact punishment on the spouse. It's disgusting, it's heartbreaking, but in America, we can't embrace extrajudicial killings. We can't abandon as a civil society the rules that define how we prosecute, imprison, and so in Texas at times execute people. In fact, we want all the checks and balances because it's a slippery slope. It doesn't appear that he's absolutely guilty. I think it appears beyond a reasonable doubt. Should he get the death penalty? Yes. The problem, of course, with the death penalty is it is overwhelmingly biased against the poor and people of color, but there are absolutely some people that deserve to die, and this scumbag, it seems like he deserves to die. But we can't embrace a lynch mob mentality. We've seen it in America before to horrifying outcomes. And
But
just
not
because
then, Charles.
But how do you draw the line?
There were no videos then. There were no videos then. Now we got a video of this chump, this coward, who's less than the vermin under your foot, choke his own baby to death. And now we're going to pay for his health care while he's in jail. We're going to pay for 3 hot meals a day. We're going to make sure he get commissary to order sneakers and Twinkies and bags of chips. Partner, you like killing babies and you put it on video, we kill you the same week, man.
There is
no more long
absolutely
trials.
no doubt that he deserves either life without the possibility of parole in a miserable prison cell or the death penalty. There's no doubt. But as a civilized society, we'll still have to go through the process, because if we take away the process for him, then it's a slippery slope into doing it for other people, and we end up with a modern era of lynching.
Any man that's caught killing babies on video.
Yo, what's up, man? My bad. You was backstage.
Yeah, I lost my phone lost connection up here on this highway. But bro, I'm with the black gentleman, bro. Whatever the other dude talking about, man, you can sweep that under the bus, bro. I don't want nothing to do with what he talking about. I'm with old boy, bro. This dude get to sit around and get 3 hot in a cot. He get to get commissary. He get to work in the prison and make some pennies on the dime. No, you get killed. Death penalty. You get killed that same week. Hands down. No.
Shout out Marcus Banks. He says, I totally agree with that gentleman's statement 1000%. I think he's talking about the black gentleman as well. I agree with him. Like he said, I'm not into the whole necessarily mob thing, but I agree with what he said. He said there were no video cameras back then. So if we have 100% proof he did it on FaceTime in front of everybody, I agree with them. With what you said, Prince. Marcus, the gentleman on his news, is that he's on tape doing it. There's no reason why are we going through the motions. It's like it's weird that we're sitting in trial discussing if he killed the child that he's on video killing. It's like it's silly to me. It is a waste of taxpayers' dollars. It's a waste of everybody's time. I know, like, oh my goodness, I forget where it's at. I doubt that video is still up on YouTube. They probably took it down. In Africa, they got this guy, and he's like the executioner, right? And so you had this young man, he was out there racing with people on the cars, and they were drifting on the highway. Well, if you look at some of their videos on the highway, you got the highway and the road, and there's always people walking on the side. Well, they were drifting and racing, what they're not supposed to do. One person car loses control, hits a bunch of people, women and children, on the side of the road, kills maybe one or two people, right? Injures and hurts other people. He was caught that same day. The police held him. They made a phone call. Gentleman on the other line picks up. It's the executioner. Comes out the same day. He got a big old long sword. Took him behind like this little building. Chopped his head off. Same day. No trial, nothing. Gone. Same day.
It should be like that more times than not. I mean, I get that that's a different country. You know, they handle things like that, to be honest. But I get the fact of everybody's due process and all that jazz. You know, we shouldn't have a mob mentality, but I feel like in some cases, not all, but in some cases, that mob mentality is a must. Cases like this, bro, that mob mentality should have automatically been a thing. There shouldn't have even been a trial. He's on camera. He admitted it. Not only was he on camera, he admitted it.
But the mob mentality does exist still, though, over here, because let me tell you something. Do something to an officer, and then
oh yeah, that's your ass. You do something to a cop.
If you do something to an officer, you better hurry up, get in contact with a lawyer, and turn yourself in. But if they catch you, you ain't gonna make it. And if you do make it, you're gonna be like that other guy that showed up in court with the helmet on his head to keep his face together. Remember that guy? He shot and killed the officer, and when they caught him, they beat the brakes off of him.
I remember say, bro, I mess your head up. I actually witnessed that one day with my own two eyes. I actually witnessed that one day. This was way back when I first started driving 18-wheelers. I was driving for Pepsi. That was my first delivery job. And the area where I was delivering in, they had just had a police shoot. And I was delivering to the gas station across the street. So the police, they moved the barricades and everything, and they let me on through. Now it turns out the young man shot the cop, and he got ghosts. He ran. And later on in the day, I'm coming up another highway or whatever in that general area, and they hadn't found the dude. Man, when I tell you, they whooped his ass. They beat the brakes off that dude.
I'll tell you that what they do. They do it when it's them. Do something you want to.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like that. It's like that when it comes to police, though. I mean, like we've seen neighborhoods get shot up and everything from the D boys, these YNs and all that, bro. Like sometimes that mob mentality. I mean, if you take the cops out the equation, bro, the men in neighborhoods need to start taking over. We need to start policing our own neighborhoods first and foremost. But when it comes to the court system, the legal system, man,
there you go.
Lynch them straight up, early, not late.
That's the guy I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I remember him. Yeah, I remember that. They beat him within inches of his life.
They gave him that old school beat the brakes off of him. Let's see. Shout out Marcus Banks says, man need to start being man again. I agree 100. Yeah, they do, and that was a thing that they would the community would take care of it and handle it. And especially in situations like this, like the guy said, these people doing things on video now. It's no question what they're doing. Um, it is no question of what they're doing.
Right. We need to start getting rid of these people, man. One way or another. Uh, you always see, especially on Clubhouse, you always see how they bring up these conversations about what can black people do differently, and do you think the black community will be better? Like, first off, there is no black community. The black community is a myth. The black community doesn't exist anymore. It's a black collective. Nobody is a community anymore. Everybody's for themselves. And and secondly, as long as we keep allowing all this stuff to take place, especially in our neighborhoods and the inner cities, everything it's just gonna keep getting worse.
Oh yeah, man. It's definitely very few communities, period, of anybody, right? Um, there are very few places where because we would have to have our own, like where we police our own, bank our own stores, stuff like that. It's very few just like total communities. No. So yeah, most of it's collective. I think the government wants it to be that way anyway, collective, because that's easier to control the people.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see what he got. Let's see how this. I guess this is the face off. They're arguing two different sides. They both against the person, but I guess how it should be handled. So I see this guy, the black guy. I always see him in like these stories and stuff out of Houston. I always see him. So I've seen him before with other cases.
Yo, that's all we need, partner. I'm telling you right now, we bring your rusty, raggedy ass on out to the public. Don't do nothing in secret, and we let everybody see your video live in
It
its color.
sounds good,
Take
but it's
his
a
head off his
horrible idea
shoulder.
in civilized society.
But keep killing babies. I guarantee you, the society is going to send a different message. We sick of this.
And finally, an end to a months-long search for a child after her mother was found murdered. Medical examiners now confirm remains found in Pasadena are those of 2-year-old Nadia Lee. Her father, now in custody, charged in both these murders. Fox 26's Shelby Rose has more.
He has ruined her life.
Oh man, that's I guess another case. I will be looking that up.
Oh wow, we got another one right off the bat. It was a complete mistake, ain't that something?
Yeah. That's to another one. I guess I have to look up and pull up some other videos, man. That's insane.
Man, there's not even a word in the English language I could come up with for this, bro. This was, man. I want to say it's one of the saddest stories I ever heard, but knowing how long I've been doing this and tomorrow is still a thing, can't even say that.
I know, right? I don't know, man. I guess we can end this one. Maybe we can squeeze in another story or another thing.
Man, you checked out those links I sent you, bro? I think I sent you like, I don't even know how many I sent you. I sent you a lot.
Those are all separate news clips, right?
Oh yeah. All those are completely separate stories, separate news articles, except the ones about Trump and the trans folk situation. I think I sent you like probably 4 pertaining to that.
Okay. I know I could make a playlist out of them, then come back and just run through them.
Yeah, probably so. I mean, I don't think all that needs. I don't think each of those need to be like 2 or 3 hour live streams. Yeah. Probably do that. Do a playlist.
Shout out Mr. Marcus Banks. People are really sick nowadays. Yep, very sick. Sick world that we live in. Oh my goodness. The sickest one I seen was the one that Sav sent to me. With the man got mad because he was having sex with his girlfriend and she made a mistake and said the name of her ex-husband. He killed her. He reached inside of her from the bottom, if you know what I mean. Like he stuck his arm in there, reached all the way up, and pulled her intestines out.
What?
Yeah, man, you remember? I probably include that. I gotta click these links and I'll come back on. But either way, even if one of these news articles, either way, if I see one of those news articles, we can always come back later and do another hour on either one of those news articles.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, that story was that story was insane. And that's probably been like one of the worst ones I've heard so far.
I think for me that may be the worst I ever heard. I mean, I've heard of children being cooked alive in ovens. I've heard of children being thrown off bridges, toddlers, babies thrown off bridges. I have never heard of something like that right there. I've never heard anything like that.
Yep. That one,
That's
and
worse.
yep, you're right. That one and the story with that mom cooked the baby in the microwave. Them like my top, like I think the worst things I like ever. Because I mean, people killing people is horrible, but to take it to that level, that's some evil right there. It's
I
not
got
even
another one.
needed.
I got another one for you. They had a young lady. This is probably like 5-6 years ago. It was a nice hot minute ago. She was hiding her pregnancy from her parents, and she ended up giving birth to the child or whatever. And she put the child in a paper bag and set the child on fire in the middle of the street. Newborn. Psychotic. That's pretty much all that I come up with.
No reason even you don't have to kill people like that. That's
matter of fact, recently, if you look it up, this one happened, I think, last year. This little white girl was hiding her pregnancy from her mom. And they were already in the emergency room getting her checked out because she wasn't feeling good or whatever like that. Mind you, this entire time the mom has no idea she's been pregnant. She ends up giving birth to the child in the hospital bathroom, and she tries to hide the child in the garbage can underneath the garbage bag. So when the person came in the garbage came in the bathroom to change out the bag in the trash can, the baby was discovered. She's awaiting trial right now.
That's crazy. Shout out Marcus. Marcus said that is you probably talking about the one where I said the guy pulled the intestines out through the woman's bottom. Yeah, that is definitely in my top 10 of worst stories. I think that's the one he's talking about. Yeah, they all horrible, terrible, man. Oh my God. Oh, sick world. All right, let me go ahead. I'm gonna end this so don't be too long. Give me a minute. I have to click on all those links, but no, I seen the links. But I woke up and I was trying to rush and hurry up so I could catch you and get online.
Oh, it's all good, bro. Do what you gotta do, man.
When you was like, I'm running late, I was like, I thought I was running late. I was trying to I was trying to rush and hurry up and stuff because I know too, like later on, I got like a bunch of paperwork and stuff I need to be
do what you gotta do, bro. Go check them out, man. Like this, bro. I sent you a lot of all them cocksuckers bad. And the thing with Trump and the trans with the military and hospitals stopping care for trans teens and 911 trans in the military, bro. All that could be literally one whole live.
Oh yeah. We'll have to go through that. I heard more into that, and shout out to you, man. Thank you for coming through, Mr. Marcus Banks. Appreciate you. Much respect to you as well. He said much respect to you both. Thank you for letting me speak. Now, thank you.
Thank you.
We enjoy it. I like having conversations with people. This is actually what we like to do. This is what we pretty much talk about all the time: true crime and all that stuff. Shout out to you. Shout out to Gangland Duda came through today. Appreciate the support and everything from everyone and stuff. So, But with the Trump thing, they were saying, I guess it's to stop. Basically, I guess how it was explained to me is that basically, you can be trans, but you got to come in trans. No more coming in trying to get the government to pay for your surgeries and all that stuff. You got to come in already ready to go.
Yeah, I read that part too, and I think that's the area where a lot of people fall short, I guess, in their reading comprehension, or as much as they care to read and look into things. But yeah, I read that part too. I know about that.
Yeah, so that, so let me see. All right, looks like I'm gonna be making some more coffee. Click the links, make a playlist so it can run through. And what time is it? Okay. Yeah, it's still pretty early. Yeah. So yeah, we'll do that. Then I'll be doing whatever my wife tells me to do.
Yep, sounds about my evening.
All right, we out.
Sounds like my evening.
Yeah, we out for right now. Be right back. Let me hurry up. Peace.
Y'all hit that like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Deuces.
Deuces.
Risky behavior.